The stream is ready. We're ready to send the video, and we should be ready in a few minutes. Just making sure that we're ready here. So we have excellent condition here. We're live. Welcome back, guys, to another episode of Box Mining here. It is a super exciting day today. We have the successful launch of Ethereum 2.0. This is the moment we've been waiting for pretty much the last 3 years, right? Right before when I found out about Ethereum like 3-4 years ago, we're talking about the next big leap forward, and this is it. Successfully launched today. We got a tweet coming out from Vitalik saying, "Congrats on the launch." Almost as if he wasn't a pivotal part of this launch. This has been a huge undertaking. There's a lot of development research, and this is the launch, right? So, if you click on this video, you know that this is a rocket ship launch, and there were a million things that could have gone wrong. There were infinite amount of tests that were done beforehand to try to make sure it's good, but you never know until you hit the button. And that's what makes today such a successful day, because that launch is 100% successful. Now you see that Ethereum 2.0 is fully deployed and live. You can go on beacon chain. Just look at the spelling here. I'll put a link down below. But this actually shows the blocks that are being produced on Ethereum 2.0. So you can also see the proposal process and the voting process that's involved. Ethereum 2.0 takes a huge leap forward. It's not mining anymore, but it's based on proof of stake. So more precisely, you have to stake 32 Ethereum, and by staking that, it allows anyone to participate and also earn lock rewards. So it kind of very much changes the dynamic of Ethereum going forward. Instead of miners making all the money, just using the GPUs to mine Ethereum, it's now become stakers, and any staker anyone can stake, and we'll show you tomorrow. Tomorrow, I've got a really exciting episode prepared up for you guys here, and we're gonna go through the live process of just setting up a validator. I am gonna take a shortcut though. I just took it, and why I'm so excited? It's right before this video starting. So right before we started this video, and why this video got a little bit of a late start is because I had to launch my own Ethereum validator. It did involve staking 32 ETH, so I was like, fingers crossed, this is, you don't want to mess up any of the steps, because if you mess it up, especially if you mess up writing down some phrases, this is why there's paper on here, and right before the stream, I made sure that I didn't write any on these, but you must make sure that you write down another set of words, mnemonic phrases, backup key phrases, and yeah, I'm going to take you through the entire process tomorrow in tomorrow's live stream. So stay tuned for that. Make sure you click the subscribe button down below, notification bell. The stream itself is also up already, but anyways, that's beside the point. But yes, so launching this does involve a little bit of effort on your end, and it involves 32 ETH. But once that is live, as you can see here, you can see the blocks being proposed and then people getting rewarded. In terms of what rewards you can expect, you can go to the Ethereum Launchpad. Actually, I just want to show you guys this one's particularly exciting, because this is my congratulations letter for launching and supporting the ETH2 network. This is my first part completed. This is the success note with the little rhino up there. But anyways, so once that's completed, you can go to the Launchpad and you can just see their rewards. So roughly at this current point, you're expecting roughly an annual percentage yield of 16.5% at this current rate. So you can actually start earning some passive income on Ethereum now. So what is this episode about? So this episode, we're going to take a look at Ethereum 2.0 overall, just like a little brief summary for you guys, if you guys aren't up to there. We also have a market update. And today we had some craziness with Ethereum markets going on. I had my FTX window open, and Ethereum shot up like crazy right before the successful launch. But then we did take a nosedive a little bit after. So you can see, let me just actually put the Ethereum to USD price. You can see it shooting up, dumping back down, and moving back up again. So it's kind of funny. The whole day was a very emotional day for a lot of people here. Basically, this huge rally basically buy the rumor, right? The launch was going to happen, buy the rumor, and then sell the news. Once the successful launch was done, sell. We saw some huge sells, and then now we're all the way back up to 616. So exciting time, successful launch. So the sell off was not very crazy. That's actually pretty good. So we'll talk a little bit about everything that's happening here and answer some questions as well. So if you guys have questions, type them in the chat log and we'll get to answer them very soon. So with that, guys, let's start the video. And before we start, I do want to tell you about the podcast. New episode is up. So we got the podcast Bitcoin Out of the Box. It's a podcast that's pretty much perfect for on a run, in the car, anywhere you go. You can listen to it whilst, almost if you're working, playing video games, whatnot. So just search for it, Bitcoin Out of the Box. The new episode is with Gerald of CyberFi. It talks about DeFi automation, huge amount of information down there. And this is something very key, right? This is DeFi, but we talk about all this about smart money, but how do you make sure it's smart? How do you program it? But anyways, that's in the latest episode just released today, hot off the press. Check it out, Bitcoin Out of the Box. It's on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Anything that has podcasts on it, it's up there. Search for it, Bitcoin Out of the Box. Let's go for it. Let's go for the start. All right, so I see a lot of questions coming in, and I think I would just answer very quickly what's happening with the ETH 2.0 stuff very quickly. And there are a lot of questions about rewards, validators, what you can do. A lot of people, Kevin Tai typed 16.5% APY. That's insane. That's crazy. But there's a little bit of caveat to that too. So I will talk a little bit there. We got Jose Gambola says, unexpected live. Hello, everyone. Hello, Jose. Welcome. I haven't seen you for a while, but that's because I think I stream in a very different time zone from you. So anyways, I'm really glad that you can come on this stream. I'm really glad to see so many smiley faces here. Just big thank you to anyone who's joined the channel. Really appreciate it. So now, starting off, yes, so the rewards. So why do people want to jump on to Ethereum 2.0 is because of the staking. With staking, right now, you're expected to earn around 16.5 APY. This will decrease over time. So if you look at this chart, that's why to put this kind of chart here. The more ETH staked in the contract, the more stakers there are, the less rewards there are. You're kind of splitting the rewards between the different amounts, the stakers out there. So you can just kind of see this chart. So as more and more people stake their Ethereum, you're going to expect to see less and less rewards going to be distributed out. But currently, right now, it's actually not bad at 816.5. I mean, at this current point, anything is better than the shitty rates that we get in the bank. I mean, come on. I just got recently, yet again, HSBC coming at me again saying, yo, you want to save money with us? Yeah, we have 0.05% annual interest if you save your money with us. I'm like, no, it's okay. It's all right. You can keep that. It's like, trust me. Like, really? No. Okay, so that's kind of what we're expecting. And yes, I do expect it to drop a little bit, maybe into this region as more and more people stake. Now, there are some major drawbacks too. I would say, I just went through this. You can see all these text marks here. But just to very quickly to talk about this, you're not getting free money. It's not free. You do have to run a validator, and your validator is required to be online 24 hours. So this is like, you can do this at home, and I've been trying to set up my system at home, but sometimes if you go offline, there will be penalties. So this is kind of important to remember that if you have responsibilities once you're staked, and your stake there is to guarantee that you don't misbehave. This is kind of key with Ethereum 2.0. So instead of relying on kind of a security by hardware, it relies on security by people having stakes, and if they screw up, their stakes are going to be removed. And that's kind of important. So number one, you need to be online all the time. And number two is commitment as well. So just be aware that when you move and migrate to Ethereum 2.0, you also have to say, I understand that I cannot transfer my stake ETH until at least phase 1, and I cannot withdraw until phase 2. So this is quite important. Right now, it's a one-way trip. It's like, You know that rocket I put up on there, it's really relevant because yes, we're going to the moon, but once you're on the rocket, you can't just jump off. Right? You can't just expect to transfer once you're on the rocket. So there's actually no transfer features up at this current point. So you have to wait till the next phase 1 of ETH 2.0 to have that full functionality. When roughly is expected to be 2021, but that's programmer speak. So, maybe potentially it might take a little bit longer, and that's, something we're kind of used to. So just be warned that's one warning. So that's all the good parts. That's all the kind of warnings out of the way. And tomorrow we're going to have the live stream to talk about, to go through the whole process with you guys, to give you guys a little bit of a indicator of what's up. Now, in talking about Ethereum 2.0 and this whole insanity here, why is this such a big achievement? I'm so excited. I started this stream of a giant smile on my face. Why is this such a big achievement? Well, because this is the largest proof of stake network around. We've been talking about the idea of proof of stake for a while, and this is kind of the next evolution of securing up blockchains. For the longest period of time, security was done via either mining, right? You have mining on Bitcoin, on Ethereum. I talk about mining. The whole channel is called box mining, for God's sake, so I don't need to explain that. But it's a migration away from mining into staking, requiring people to have at least 32 ETH, stake it there, make sure they are legit, they have the responsibilities. And the key here is that this is the largest network. Look at the number of validators here. So we have active validators at 21,000. And we're expecting more as well. It's a global participation around the world. It's kind of crazy, the amount of achievements done here. We've seen a lot of kind of other blockchains doing proof of stake, but the number of validators that they have is not on the scale, and the amount of money that they're protecting is also not on the scale of Ethereum as well. This is why this is such a big achievement. It's because finally the programmers have done something successful. They launched it. It's a successful launch, and here we are. That's the stage we're at right now. So in terms of the kind of achievement, I think this is amazing. And if you guys want to know a little bit more about Ethereum 2.0 and how many phases there are and what's going to happen at each phase, we have a really good article up on boxmining.com as well. I do encourage you to just check it out. There is like a ton of information on here about how it works. It's going to work in parallel. There's going to be multiple phases on that roadmap, how it's going to work. There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. So I'm going to put this link up here. So there we go. I will answer questions as well. I see a lot of people asking questions, and I don't know why. For some reason, we have... there we go. Boom. There. Let's do a quick answer. So I haven't looked up the messages for a sec here. So let's do some quick Q&A on this. There's some people talking about, so Philip says, also don't forget about the burden of fees. Inflation will probably be smaller than right now, and supply might actually decrease. That's actually an interesting thought. Kind of interesting, I think, if you think about fees and the supply of Ethereum, something that Vitalik said recently is not look at what we're doing now, like not look at Ethereum, what Ethereum's doing now, but what Ethereum's going to do in the future. And it's just like that kind of forward mindset about kind of where we're going to be in 6-7 years time. And I think there's a lot of people who like 6-7 years feels like a lifetime, but that is how far you have to start thinking, and not just 6-7 years, but even beyond that as well. And I think this is kind of the pivotal here. So I feel like this start represents the beginning of something huge, something grand. And this is why I'm personally so excited, because we finally have it. I mean, if you think about it from my perspective, when I started really seriously looking into Ethereum, I made the video on proof of stake that was like 2017, and I was like, coming soon. And everyone in the video was asking, when, guys, when? Well, today. I finally can answer that today. So it took 3 years to wait until today, and this is why it's a very monumentous achievement. So Kevin Tai says, fixed term deposit for ETH. It does look like that at this current point. We got Nemesis says, Nick Mile, GPU mining still is great, my man. It is true. This doesn't actually deprecate mining because Ethereum is running in parallel with Ethereum 2.0. The current network still stands and the current mining structure still stands until phase 2, right? When we kind of get that merger. It's a long process. Read the article. Read the article. It's a long process. Nick Miles was saying initially, GPU mining is dead, get wrecked, RX 30 series scalpers. I'm so angry at this too. I was like, last week I went to the computer center wanting to buy a rig, mostly because right now I just kind of want to update my streaming rig and set bit and be ready for gaming and also test out how they work for mining, right? But the current amount of scalping in Hong Kong is ridiculous. You're expected to pay at least 30 to 50% more for the price of a card. And if you're looking for the top tier, like the 3900X, yeah, just 3090X, yeah, that's the correct number for it. Yeah, it's impossible. Ilya Ball says phase 2 in 5-7 years, then thanks Vitalik. It might be a long time. I mean, currently expected, a lot of people expect it to be the end of 2021 where you see the merger. I personally would add 1 or 2 years to it. If you're playing safe, I would say kind of add 1 year, and if you don't want to be disappointed, add 2 years. That's kind of how things go in this space. Now, in terms of the markets, I'm actually pretty happy that the markets have recovered quite drastically and quite quickly up here in that phase. As you know me, I've been re-entering a lot of the market, and like I said a few weeks ago, Ethereum, Bitcoin, I was actually in the core coins and definitely have a huge chunk in Ethereum. I was thinking that personally, right, like from a personal angle, it's a lot of pressure trading crypto. Right? You have this huge kind of price variation, ups and downs and ups and downs. And it does take a toll on you. And I think it's like, for me personally, this morning, I spent a lot of my time, and I make no kind of, I don't hide this from you guys. A lot of it's spent managing funds, just making sure that all the accounts that I have, it's there, it's around. It's surprisingly a lot of work, and it's really boring, and it's so easy to screw up. If you want to move funds around, you gotta make sure the address is correct, make sure you haven't copied it down incorrectly. It's a big pain. Anyways, uh, sad times. All right, so that's kind of wraps up ETH 2.0. I think it's crazy. We have the deposit. So yeah, phase 0 launch. They should have updated this website, so we can actually just happily move this to phase 0 launch, and then now we're waiting for phase 1. That's phase 1, phase 2, and on we go. So duration. So you can actually take through their stuff. Yeah, so estimate 2021, the docking and the merging. Take estimates with a grain of salt. That's my two. That's being in crypto for a long time. I will say that you will not be disappointed if you add a little bit of time on the end. Okay, so in terms of market and in terms of whatever big news there are, I'll do a little bit of a few updates. We have more pushing from Andre Crone. So in terms of the DeFi world, it's another one. We have the Wi-Fi X Sushi merger. So this is kind of crazy as well. I think a lot of people thought sushi was dead. Apparently not. And this also caused a spike in sushi prices today. If you actually look at it, all of a sudden, if you just look at the mark, boom, it moved up from roughly like 1.6 all the way up to $1.89 at this current point. So a lot of movements. And I was kind of joking about this. Andre's been announcing partnerships day in and day out, right? So Andre is the guy who created Wi-Fi, the first YFI, and he's been like pushing DeFi so hard. He's been at the center of DeFi. He's been merging with projects. He's been saving projects. He's doing everything. So yeah, if you just so he's got the sushi article up recently. He's what else was he doing? He was doing Cover. So there was a merger with Cover. There was a merger with Cream. There's Power Pool. Oh my God. it's just total insanity how much stuff he's doing in the space. And I don't want to say it's that's the kind of beauty of DeFi. If you really understand how to build products for DeFi, you can just churn them out. It's not a lot of code, right? But you just have to make the code very good. And I think that's the difference, and that's the power and the promise of Ethereum as well. Ethereum, it gives developers a blank state, like not blank state, a blank slate to start with. They can draw anything they want. They can program and design anything they want. And this few years, developers are getting better. They're not perfect, all right? I think we've seen a lot of vulnerabilities in code, a lot of hacks over time, but good developers can come up with something very clean, very simple, and it's not many lines. It's not like you're going to program Facebook or Microsoft Windows, which contains hundreds and thousands of lines of code. In DeFi, the amount of code is very small. It just has to be very precise and without any vulnerabilities. That's the core of decentralized finance. So this is why Andre can do all this stuff. He can do all this crazy stuff because you don't need much code. You just need a lot of brains. Anyway, that's the magic of it. Anyway, enough lecturing. Enough lecturing. we got Sugar Zeus's Cardano is Ethereum's successor. Ethereum is Ethereum's successor. Cardano offers something different. Algorand offers something different. Heck, Ripple is even doing smart contracts that offer something very different. Binance Smart Chain offers something different. I would say, yeah, that's my 10 cents. I've been around since 2017. I think all projects that claim to be a successor to Ethereum were really taught a very grim lesson when they realized that the developers just aren't moving over. DeFi isn't, as vibrant of a scene on other blockchains as Ethereum. And this is kind of the major contest. And I don't see and moving forward, I don't see all these blockchains as competitors or successors. I really see them as ads, value adds. And I think that's kind of the power of Polkadot too. If you look at where Polkadot is doing, they kind of really say, look, developers can make their own chain. They can customize a chain for their own use cases. And then we have a framework that links everything together, including linking with Ethereum, and even where Cardano can link with Ethereum once Cardano deploys smart contracts. I think that's the way. It's much more cooperative in crypto. I kind of say that. That's my kind of take on it. I don't think anything's going to kind of success or anything, but I think it's much more about cooperation. And I think just like preaching here, I think I just have to go and all right, you guys have to allow me for this. I have to gloat a little bit here because, I've hung around with a lot of maximalists too, like people who think that Ethereum is a scam. I still remember the scoff a few maximalists gave when people talked about DeFi and said, oh, is that the next thing that these little kids are on? Is the next hype thing, the next pump and dump? But there's a lot of value here. We actually started using the kind of tools in decentralized finance. I still remember the Bitcoin maximalists laughing and saying, ha ha ha, no one's using wrapped Bitcoin because, Bitcoin's way more secure. Why would you want to wrap Bitcoin on Ethereum? That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. And this year, wrap BTC has become bigger and bigger and bigger. We're seeing more and more value locked. I mean, look at it. The market cap of wrap BTC is $2 billion at this current point. So yes, there actually, I have to switch this to this screen, but yes, wrap Bitcoin is coming over, and it's very clear that decentralized finance is taking a larger and larger role, and that trajectory is going up. Right. I think that's kind of key to remember here too, is that this trajectory is on the upward trend. And this is why I'm so glad to be in this space and not wrong. I think that there's a certain point that like I could have gone down that dark path where I'm like, oh, I'm a maximalist. I don't want to listen to anyone else. Everything is a scam. There's so many scams out there. I'd rather not listen to it. I just shut and just like, you know, close my mind to the outside world. But that's when you miss out on everything. So, anyways, I just need to say that I'm glad I didn't go down that path, and I hope you guys can say the same as well. Not to mention RenBTC with higher market cap. RenBTC, yep, RenBTC is really good too. There was actually a Ren Ren wrap big Bitcoin pool. In fact, Ren, like once the full Ren like kind of network fully deploys, they're doing such a lot of sexy stuff in Ren. The amount of kind of assets that are migrated. And I personally done that migration from Bitcoin to Ren BTC as well during the farming days. I think I didn't talk about it as much, but that's been done. It's such a simple process. The ability to migrate between chain, that's really happening this year. And yeah. Um, it's powerful. It's powerful. So, um, I got a few questions popping in. We got Fabian Villages says, "What's up, brother? What's up?" And we're looking also at the markets too today. There's a lot of excitement going on. We have Bitcoin pushing up yet again. We had okay, so yes, we did have a dip, and this does happen. So I've been warning you guys about this type of dip as well, where you have these sudden drops down, and it's very likely that people get liquidated at this point. So just be very careful about taking strong leverage positions, not financial advice, of course, but we've seen kind of how many people get wrecked here and kind of the V-shaped move up. So likely some people got liquidated and then whales were able to buy at this kind of bottom point. So yeah. But anyway, so we're on the way to recovery. And something that we've seen right now is this kind of talk about market recovery overall. And I had the should I say fortune or misfortune of watching a little bit of news today to figure out what's happening on the global market stuff. I had the misfortune of watching Bloomberg. But anyways, there's a lot of chatter, about the global economy recovering. There's hope for it recovering, and you go and think about it. Yes, it's great, but one thing you guys are really missing out is a discussion on Bitcoin. I think like they're slowly mainstream media slowly starting to get it, and this is something that's will become more and more valuable. I think it's like just like DeFi, the talk about cryptocurrency, that trajectory is going up. Does it work? Yeah, this way it goes up, right? Yeah, I'm just trying to make sure it works on camera, so it's going up. You never want something to be going down, and I had that happen to me once. I'll tell you guys a story. It's digressing a little bit, but this analogy really works. So, back in my studying days when I was studying chemistry, um, I was trying to apply for a PhD in Imperial College. So, this is one of the top tier research institutions in the UK. And there was one very, very famous prof. And I went to interview for him. I was like, okay, maybe I want to do a PhD with this guy. And this guy was just brutally honest. He was like, look, take a look at your grades right now. They're going down. They're going this direction, right? It's just right to my face, right? Like he didn't want to say anything nice. He was just like, say, hey, you suck, right? And it really hurts at that time. It's never good to be on a downward path, right? But he was like, yeah, you'll be on a downward path. And I still remember it to this day, even though it's many years ago. But it's a driving force, right? Like you realize, okay, someone being brutally honest like that will kick you into a fighting mode. But a sad part about, after I watched Bloomberg and stuff and I watched all that stuff is that there's no switch, right? They know that they're going down, right? But there's no kind of energy to fight up. It's like they're all just kind of waiting for the government to save them. I feel like that's the saddest part about watching mainstream news and seeing kind of how the old financial institution at that current point. It's like they don't realize they're going down. They don't realize that they're doing worse and worse each year, and we're on the other side of that. We're doing better and better and better, right? Yes, we had a few setbacks back in 2017. Too many scams, too many ICOs, but then we have this whole year of DeFi starting to demonstrate its use cases. And this is just the beginning, right? And I feel like this is why I'm here. This is why, um, yeah, this is why it matters. Like we are on the upward trajectory, and we're also trying really hard here. Not only are we fighting, but we're like guns blazing, right? This is kind of crazy. Anyways, I'm not gonna digress too long about it. But it's there's case. Box should tell Angela Wine says Box should tell the prof if you accept my application, you're essentially buying the diff. LOL. All right, so On this note as well, so I do have a few things I was covering. I was like, let me see what else was happening today. So there's a few launches today. This morning was so busy. I was looking at Base Finance. No, not Base Finance, Base Protocol. They've successfully launched today. So they're, if you guys want to check out their interview, I do have an interview with the guys at Base Protocol, and they're doing a rebase coin. So this is Base Protocol right here. So they successfully launched today. They have their website up, and we had a great debate on this. Like this kind of idea of rebasing coins and doing uh, trying to create a synthetic asset. I think this is one of the biggest kind of crazes of DeFi. And I played against this, right? So if you look at my debate with Nick from Base Protocol, we were kind of doing this debate of like, is rebase useful or not? But regardless, the market will decide. And I think that's the beauty of this whole space right now. The market will decide what's going to happen. So check that out. Epic debate about base and rebase protocols and base protocol itself. And there's a lot of excitement. I don't deny that there's a lot of excitement on this, and a lot of DeFi has been about creating synthetic assets and synthetic versions of assets. And so one of them is definitely Base Protocol. Check that out. And the other one, I'm getting so confused with the names here. Basis Cash. Holy crap, man. So I'm not going to show this. I'm just going to say and declare, leak this out a little bit before people say that I don't talk about my yield farming. So this is the yield farm that I went into yesterday. It's only for a very limited amount of time. So it's 5 days of yield farming and that's it. So personally for me, I'm in this pool and I'm in this pool. There's a limit of $20,000 per pool that you can get, but the rewards have been pretty good so far. So initially the rewards are roughly around 10% per day, which is outrageous. Now roughly it's around 1% per day. So it's still pretty good. It's still pretty all right. So if you're interested in checking that out, I don't want to endorse these things because there's a lot of risks in there, but I'm more or less stating that I am in this pool. All right. There you go. So yeah. So and in terms of like these pools here, I think just give you guys a reminder, and I'll be shameless about this. This one has no impermanent loss. So you just basically deposit your USDC, and this one you deposit your USDT. You go in there and you get your rewards. For these pools, this does involve impermanent loss. These rewards will be higher. That's why it's highlighted. But I typically avoid these because you need to stake and have be subjected to impermanent loss. I'm shameless here. I just deposit. I take my free coins and go. Um, like don't blame me. Don't kill me. Don't kill me, bro. Don't kill me. So yeah. So I usually go for the ones with the least risk to my capital, and I just take the free coins. That's me. I'm a beggar. Okay, I'm a beggar. I'm just gonna go there, beg for coins, and call it a day. So yeah, that's my 2 cents. But on that note as well, just be very careful. There's a lot of there's some restake there. It's also another rebasing coin. They get a little bit crazy. All right, they get a little bit crazy. So yeah, my 2 cents there. I'm not speculating on them either. I'm not buying them off the market. I feel like these things, yeah, it could be a little bit crazy. Yeah, impermanent loss experience. Steven Alteski says, have you used Serum Dex? Any thoughts on the UX? I actually feel like Serum's actually not bad. It's started off pretty bad. There's still a lot of work to do. So, for me, I hold Serum. I talk to Sam a lot. I'm kind of brainwashed in that sense. Not brainwashed per se, but I kind of hear his arguments and they make a lot of sense to me of how and why they need to build that Dex that way. And so I've used it. It's so fast, but the UI needs to be improved. I think that's kind of the key here. Lots of improvements are needed, and they're building them at a very fast pace. And if you guys are interested, do request a video. Just keep typing that. I just want to see how much interest they are and what's going on there. Okay, so answering some other questions. Oh, I think I have another update as well. From Injective side. So Injective Labs as well. And this is also like this is why I'm like so busy every day. So Injective, they just launched the Solstice testnet. So you have the early access launch already. So if you want to get on board and check it out, do check out they're also building up actually I should have moved this here. So Injective, they are kicking off their they have actually 10,000 users who joined the wait list to check out the protocol. If you don't know what Injective protocol is, it's a custom designed protocol for derivatives trading market. So yet again, it's also another a huge platform for decentralized trading. So dexes are huge this year. We saw Uniswap, Sushi Swap. We just talked about Serum just now, and then Injective, they have their own chain and their own dex as well, focused on derivatives. So yeah, Sam Val. So yeah, so much going on. Sam Val Dallin says, "Are you in Ramp? Saw you make a video about them a while ago. They're partner with Tezos yesterday. There's so much going on. So I do hold Ramp. There's a list of coins that I hold, and man, I was building that up, and then I realized, man, I have way too many things at this current point in time. It'll get done. It'll get done, guys. And first and foremost, I think I wanted to do the material on ETH 2.0 because it's just launching, so it makes the most sense for me personally to experience it, and also for this channel as well. But we're gonna get to other topic. We also have a lot of questions about XRP. There's a lot about talk about that. I think the XRP shows have been reanimated at the current point. From a deep down philosophical perspective, I don't believe what they're doing is very powerful at this current point. Like a lot of people, they're talking about linking with banks and stuff. And yes, this can be done with the Ripple protocol, but the Ripple protocol doesn't need to necessarily use the XRP coin, which has been one of the major kind of weaknesses of XRP. That being said, of course, the counter argument here is, can it move up during this market? I would say yes. I think a few of my friends have heavily gone into XRP, kind of anticipating that the public generally likes it more. I guess if you want to say that, there's no way for me to argue against that. So yeah, that's my current take on it. There is, of course, Flare coming up. They're trying to bring Ethereum smart contracts onto Ripple. So that could be a useful use case for Ripple in the future, or at least XRP in the future. But anyways, that is crazy. All right. So I think that's wraps up what I want to talk about Ethereum 2.0. I'm actually pretty excited to see where the nodes go up. And then tomorrow, I'm pretty excited for tomorrow's episode 2 about where everything's going. So my node, I'm just checking on the status on that. I have it open on this window. It's up already, but it's not synced yet. It's still pending right now. So I'm actually pretty excited to see and show you guys that for tomorrow. So in tomorrow's episode, I'll go through the process of everything, setting it up, and it'll be super, super fun. I think that's pretty much it for today. We talked a lot, guys. Guys, also smash up the likes. It really does help with this channel. Being you on YouTube or no, we're kind of like with these YouTube rules and stuff. So yeah, just check that out. So smash up those likes if you can. All right, we have XRM, XRP. So something we'll probably do for the future is to put on slow mode for chat. I do want to answer questions, but I would say that if you guys can, please post questions just a single time. Really, really, really respect that. Just huge kudos for everyone who is super nice and everything. Yep. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you guys also got a ledger, because I think the ledger sale's over today. Oh, that sucks. But anyways, I think that's pretty much it for today. I do want to say, check out all nodes. Been using that for a long, long time, and that's what we're gonna use. I think it made the process a lot easier. Let's be honest, and it's around $5 a month to maintain a node in that sense. So it's pretty super cheap as well. So that's pretty much it for today. Oh yeah, also successful launch on Coin as well. So if you guys have been following Coin, They've successfully launched last week. I should have congratulated them, but anyways. Good night. Thank you guys so much for coming in. And Volk Popfix says, so no more mining. Actually, there will be a lot of mining. Mining will stop after the full kind of merger between ETH 1.0 and 2.0. But with ETH 2.0 being deployed, it's a separate network for now. So both are running at the same time. So like it's kind of like if ETH just gave birth to a baby. That's the best way to describe it. This baby's alive. It's gonna run for a while. It has to grow up. Right now it's phase 0. It's gonna grow up to phase 1 and phase 2. And this baby is gonna be very malicious. When it grows to phase 2, it's gonna eat up its mom. Horrible analogy, but yeah. Once it reaches phase 2, hopefully in 2 years, it's gonna eat up the current Ethereum main chain. That's when mining stops. But until then, we have both existing at the same time. Ollie Hopper says, can you cover Link at some point, mate? Love your vids. Sure, why not? Link has a lot. Oracles is a huge discussion topic. So anyways, that's there. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching today. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, smash up the likes. And with that, I'm going to post the outro. I'd like to take the time now to tell you a little bit about everything that's happening in the box mining ecosystem. First and foremost, if you guys like listening to all that's happening in crypto on the go, then I would highly recommend you checking out the Box Mining Bitcoin Out of the Box podcast. And the reason why it's called Bitcoin Out of the Box is because we have long interview segments very much exploring the detail of the newest and latest of what's going on in this whole cryptocurrency space. Whole idea of it is to bridge that gap between knowledge privileged institutional investors and the rest of us here in this space. Now, with the podcast, it's on everything. So it's on Apple Podcasts, it's on Google Podcasts, it's on Spotify. Just search it anywhere, Bitcoin Out of the Box. So just add that onto a playlist and then just follow the new episodes when it's released. Next up, we also have the Box Mining newsletter. So this happens roughly bi-weekly. We give you an update of the latest that's going on in a very summarized, condensed format. So this is perfect for anyone that wants an overview of the market. Say, for example, what's happening with OKX, the biggest event, or maybe the little things like what's happening with different coins and overall the trend. So what I use the newsletter for personally myself is to understand what kind of phase we're in crypto, to kind of get in tune. So if you don't read crypto every day, the newsletter is perfect for you. Last but not least, in the link down below, if you're a Telegram user, we have the Box Mining announcements channel. So this is to announce to you basically what's the latest videos coming up, but also we have a daily update, a community-driven daily update to provide you an idea of the latest updates on the day. And a lot of people have been using that to get informed of the crazy amounts of trends that we see. And I have to give a big thank you for Claudio, our community member, for doing this. It's just been phenomenal. Definitely want to give you a shout out there, Claudio, as well for that. And taking us to the end of the live stream, so make sure, number one, you click like and subscribe on this video because it really does help this channel. And then, of course, check out the podcast. It's one of the best ways to know a little bit more, to extend that knowledge, especially in your spare time. And then, of course, check out the newsletter. If you're, if you want those updates and summaries and trends, newsletter is the place for you. And with that, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you have a good one. See you in the next video.